Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to your afternoon rabble here on the Rangers Rabble Podcast, brought to you by the Rabble Network and the Talk Sport Fan Network as well. My name's Martin. I am your host for this afternoon, and my co-host today is the one and only Hamish. And I don't know if you can see the comments, Hamish, but a few people are slightly unhappy that we are maybe a few minutes late. Would you like to explain to the lovely viewing public why we are late today?
Not a problem. I was all set to go. It was just after 12, and then I got a phone call from my son's school. He's got a bad tooth, which we're waiting to have extracted. We had, I say we, because I'm the only one home. So I had to dive up to the school, fill in for the painkillers and ibuprofen, which all of a sudden the school were happy for that to happen so we could stay at school and then get back. And it just took me a sort of 15, 20 minutes to do it all. I think considering we're only 3 minutes late, I don't think that's bad going. But my apologies, it's all on me. Or my son.
You know that I'll still get the blame, but don't you?
Oh, yeah. But that's the fun of it all.
Yes, that is exactly the fun of it all. Right, please get your comments in as well, folks. It'll be interesting to see what you made of the press conference yesterday. What you think of the new manager? Did he impress in his presser? We've all obviously made a couple of new additions as well in terms of coaching staff. We'll talk about that. We'll look ahead to the game tomorrow. There is absolutely hundreds and plenty to talk about. But Iain, just your reaction to the press conference yesterday, to Danny Rohl, to Andrew Kavanagh, to Patrick Stewart, Kevin Thelwell, some of the questions asked. How are you feeling, mate, as we head into European game number 3?
Oh, European game number 3. Can't wait for it. But we'll get to that in a bit. Press conference yesterday. Patrick Stewart I don't know. He just doesn't come across well, regardless of what he's saying. And I know he's saying that, I'll just double down and I'll do my job and we'll turn it around and hopefully the fans can forgive me. I don't know. He's just unlikable. It was difficult to get behind anything he was saying. Kevin Thelwell needs to stop changing phrases. What does he think he does? Work for the rabble? 25-8. I mean, come on, behave yourself. Or this when he's talking and trying to get points across was just, I don't know if that's just me being really annoying, but tapping on the table while you're talking just gets on my nerves. Again, I think he, like you said yesterday, I think he's more of a likable character and you could get behind him if things start going the right way because he is able to talk. He just needs to, stop doing what the rabble do and tap it on tables and he'll be fine. As for Danny Rohl, or Danny Rohl, as is how you pronounce it, I believe, I didn't know a great deal about it before coming in. I said I was always going to give him the chance because when I was on the afternoon rabble on Monday, I said that. But even more so after listening to him speak yesterday about how he does things, how he likes to do things, wasn't going to be taken in by the mainstream media and their ridiculous line of questioning. Very confident in what he says, and he looks quite decent in a suit, does Danny Rohl. And he said he's going to keep wearing it, and that will please a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely will. He's trying to make a point, Dougal.
Well, then just make that point by making a point instead of going.
I didn't realise it annoyed you that much.
Well, it does.
To be honest. Right, listen, let's have a frank and honest and open discussion about Patrick Stewart quickly before we move on. Right? I don't think, and I'm not defending him in any way whatsoever because I don't think he's done a good job. I don't think he's endeared himself to the support. I don't really think he should still be here. Again, that's just my opinion, right? But I don't think there is anything Patrick Stewart could have done yesterday to appease the support, to change the way that the support think about him. I think his face is his face. I have been accused in the past of having a face like a smacked arse. And I've had to just tell people, it's my face. There's not a lot I can do about it. But I don't think there's really anything, Iain, he could have done yesterday like I say, to appease the support or make anybody turn around and go, well, actually, he's not that bad. I think it's just a case of the support have made up their mind. I don't think he's going to be able to change it. And I really don't think there's anything that he can do about it now.
No, I think you're right. I don't think there's much he can do to get them back on board. And like you said, whatever he says, it will just be, I don't care. And I've proven that by saying he said some stuff I didn't really listen because I just think he's unlikable. But I think, like with Danny Rohl, we've said we've got to give Danny Rohl a chance until he gives us a reason not to. With Patrick Stewart, I think it's the other way around. He's not going to get a chance unless he gives us reason to give it to him. So he's going to, like, if he says he's going to work hard to change it and he does that, then and we start winning things, I think this all dies down and people just get on board with the fact that he's at the club and he seems to be doing a good job. But until he can prove that to us, that's just going to continue the way it is.
Yeah. And again, I will repeat myself. There's people saying, oh, he looked raging, looked like he didn't want to be there. I think that's just his face. I really, really, really think that's just his face. But there's not a lot you can do about your face, I suppose. I was trying to think of a really smart, intelligent joke there, Iain, but absolutely nothing was.
Don't do that. You hurt yourself. Don't do that.
No, I know. And if we try and think of things off the cuff here in terms of jokes, we get ourselves into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Scott's quite right. Stuart has a face like Martin.
I always like Scott.
So yeah, he's probably got a wee point there. Should we be getting carried away with ourselves now, Iain, with the way that Danny Rohl was speaking yesterday? I must admit, I got taken in by it, mate. I liked the way he was talking. I left that left as if I was important enough to be there. Once the press conference was finished, I was thinking to myself, I like the way he's talking. He's talking different to other managers who have come in. It's not about a style of play with him in the beginning. It's all about just winning games and about scoring more goals and about being just better. And he even says, and very few managers do it, you know, he basically said we were crap under Russell Martin, is effectively what he said. And I came away for that press, Iain, and you know that way, and I said this yesterday, I don't know if I said it on the afternoon show or I said it on last night's members show, but you get a feeling sometimes. And yes, I got a feeling about Robin Proper and I will never live it down, right? I get that. But you just get a feeling sometimes that actually I think this is going to work.
I am going into it with cautious trepidation because I've been hurt far too many times before by going in, going, no, I'm all in, I'm sold, that's it. And I think if Muscat had gone in, I'd have gone in on that. I'm all in, I'm sold, I'm on the Muscat train. I was all over that. I wanted Muscat in the club, but he's not there. Rohl is, so I'm going in. He's going to get he's going to get given time. I am slightly excited by what he said yesterday, but I'm going in very cautiously. Show me what I want to see. Let me build my excitement, and then we'll go from there. I'm not prepared to dive in and go, this is it. This is the one, because we've been there, we've done it, we've seen it, and we've ended up egg on our face yet again. So you're in. I'm happy. I like what you're saying. Show me that you can do that, and then I'll start to get excited. That's how I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, and that's the right approach. That is the absolute right approach to go with it. But as Vic's, oh look, Martin's on again. He'll need a rest from burnout. I think that's quite harsh, Vic's, to be honest. But you're absolutely right.
See, Martin does 3 hours a day over 3 or 4 shows. I'll do 3 hours a night in one show. Just to keep all of you guys out there in the chat happy.
Yes. And look, I get it. I get it. I deal with facts over feelings. I know. But football's all about feelings and about emotions. And that's why we love it. That's why we get invested in it. That's why we spend most of our lives talking about it. That's why I spend most of my life dealing with football than I do with my own family. Is because it's a feelings game, Iain. And I don't think we should be afraid to. And I know, look, it's been crap for years. Right, let's no bullshit. Right, it's been crap for years being a Rangers supporter. Mm-hmm. Right, it really has. And it's really, really difficult to come onto a podcast or even just be talking to your mates or being in the pub and going, I'm really excited about this acquisition, or I'm really excited about this manager coming in, because we've been excited in the past and it hasn't worked. But the minute you take emotion out of it and you take feeling out of it and you take gut instinct out of it, then what are we doing?
And you're right, it has been crap. I mean, 2012 to 2025, 13 years. Take 2 out of that for the 55 in the Europa League run. That's 11 years of crap, basically, we've had to deal with as Rangers support, which is, for my lifetime, that's never happened. For the likes of Ian Thompson and Wilf, who laid the first brick at Ibrox when it was built, they've been through it a few more times. But, yeah, so, we've had to go through a lot. So we want to be excited about the football we watch. We want to be excited about our team. And like you say, football's generally about the excitement, the excitement of build up to a match day, the excitement of watching it, the excitement after it, of hopefully talking about wins and how we played and all the rest of that. The facts come after it. The facts are we've won this amount of games, this amount of silverware, and he's been here for 2.5 years and he's won every trophy that he can possibly win. The facts follow the excitement. So, but if you can't get excited about following your team, you're on a hide into nothing, which is what Russell Martin did to us as well. We were not excited about match days turning up. We actually feared a match day because like, what the hell are we going to see today? And that showed over the past 4 months. So, yeah, let the excitement come back in. Let it build back up again, because that's what it's all about at the end of the day.
I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. I'm well aware, and I still do feel the same, that Russell Martin absolutely destroyed any feeling, any positivity we had from the takeover. I think the owners, I disagree with Kavanagh slightly in some of the stuff that he said in the presser, but the owners as well, I think, need to take responsibility for the length of time it took them to make that decision. I mean, Iain Kavanagh said right at the very start when he was doing his opening gambit that, we had to react, and we felt that we did react when the time was right. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. But I don't think they did react quickly enough. I don't think they did react correctly. The search for a manager or whatever, 2 weeks at the time that we needed a manager was too long, but they got there in the end. But with regards to like the chairman's thoughts and feelings over the sacking of Russell Martin, it did take too long, mate. They didn't go about it the right way. Everybody could clearly see that it wasn't working. So I'm well aware that that trust needs to be earned. Then they haven't earned any trust yet, and the feeling needs to be earned back as well for us being positive and stuff. But I just don't think you can you can stop yourself when you listen to somebody talking and you have a look at them and you size them up, and it automatically gives you that feeling of, I think we've made the right appointment here, by the way. I think this guy could come in here and be good. That's not me sitting here going, right, he's going to absolutely come in and walk the league now, and we're going to win a treble, and he's going to get us to the final of the Europa League. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, from the way that he's talking and from the body of work that he's got and from what he done at Sheffield Wednesday, I think we've made the right appointment, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, we all sat there and we looked at the back of it that Gerrard was coming back. That actually got the excitement kind of back, and then Gerrard didn't come. Like, okay, who's it going to be now? Well, we've got to go for Muscat, surely. We go for Muscat. He's coming. No, God, no, he's not. And then the rumour mill kicks off at this point with, there's got to be reasons. And we've all done it. I did it as well. Now we've got Danny Rohl, who in the summer we were all like, actually, that might not be a bad shout. But because of what had happened over this appointment, I don't want Rohl, he's just another Russell Martin. I think, having listened to Brian and the lad from Sheffield Wednesday yesterday, my feelings on the way he plays his football completely changed. I mean, I know there was some chat in our WhatsApp group this morning saying that I don't like the fact he said that you don't get two halves of great football. I mean, it could be that it's great football and the second half's just not as good, but not the crap that we've been served up recently. It could be that it is exactly that, but as long as we win the games, we won't care. And for Kavanagh to come out and say, we acted when the time was right. He didn't. August after the Bruges game was probably the right time, because 6-0, Rangers losing 6-0 to anyone outside the top 5 leagues really shouldn't be happening in European football, because we've held our own and more so in Europe over the past few years. So that should have been at least your first warning sign that you needed to go. and to only win 3 games in his period while he was here. He needs to. They should have realised soon. I think he was there for at least 30 days too long. But some would say 60 days too long out of his 123. But they acted in the end, and hopefully, like you say, we've now got the right man in, because he's talking the talk. We just now have to see if he can walk that walk.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We have had a couple of new additions to the backroom team. Iain, you're normally quite good with stuff like this, so I sincerely hope that you know something about them. So Sasha Lenz joins as our men's first team performance manager, and Matthias Kaltenbach, see how I done that, has been appointed to the role of assistant coach. So there was rumours flying about that we were going to bring these two gentlemen in. Iain, we have. Please do give me your extensive knowledge on the two of them.
Well, Sasha Lenz, he sounds like he should work in Amsterdam in a window. I know absolutely nothing about them. I don't know a great deal about continental football. Obviously, Rohl knows these guys, otherwise they wouldn't be here. So you're going to have to take him, his experience with these guys. I think they possibly have worked together before at different parts of his build-up. One of them was at Sheffield Wednesday with him. The assistant coach, I think, was it at Sheffield Wednesday with him. So he's obviously knows these guys and trusts them. That said, we've had this before. Gio brought in people that he knew and trusted, and it didn't really work for him. But not everybody's the same, so we'll just have to see how it goes. I'm interested to see, because he did mention backroom-wise that he'll bring in one ex-Rangers related coach or person into this backroom team. So I'm looking forward to finding out who that is. I don't know much about these guys, and only time will tell. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who he brings in. The buck stops with him, and if he goes, they go with him. So it's all about Danny Rohl, and as long as he gets the appointments right, it'll be brilliant for him.
Well, it was Sasha Lenz who was the performance manager at Sheffield Wednesday under Danny Rohl. He also previously worked as sports psychologist at Man U, Schalke, Dynamo Dresden, and RB Leipzig, and he was a trusted aide of Ralf Rangnick.
That's what explain why he was at Man United then.
That would exactly explain why he was at Man United.
I was worried it was a Patrick Stewart appointment at Man United, but Ralf Rangnick, that'll be why.
Of course, the assistant manager, Matthias Kaltenbach, he's only 40 years old, by the way. He's only 40, man. He recently worked at Ajax during Alfred Schröger's reign, who I've never heard of. But he did previously spend 6 years as number 2 at Hoffenheim. And he has worked, and he's currently working under Julian Nagelsmann as the Germany boss. So we're bringing in experience.
I think Hoffenheim have been on the up over recent years. They've taken a bit of a dip, but I think they've made European football, if not Champions League football, in at least one of those seasons. Hopefully, he was there when that happened. And at the end of the day, German and Dutch football is very, very well above our level of football. So hopefully that's a good thing, and we can start. I'd quite like to see a sort of German model type of dealie being brought up in Scotland, so that we can finally do what the rest of the world seem to be doing and trusting Germans to manage their leagues, because the German coaches, they've definitely been on the up over the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, and London, you're actually right. Me and Iain both don't know a great deal about Scottish football either.
No, we don't.
Multiple man, that's a shocking comment. I can't even bring that up. It's the afternoon, man. It's the afternoon. But yeah, we're bringing in guys with experience. To be fair, both our manager and assistant have both worked at the German national team level, which is good to see. You did mention there, though, that he is looking to bring in a former Rangers player, he said. Now, that could be Rangers player or somebody who has a Rangers connection. I don't think it necessarily has to be a Rangers player, albeit, for a guy who English is clearly his second language, he speaks a lot better English than I do German. But you could see at times he was struggling yesterday, maybe just with the pressure of the press conference to get the words out that he wanted. But fair play to him for that. Iain, have you got any preference on anybody kicking about right now that you would like to see coming in and taking that job as the sort of ex-Rangers player coaching role?
Well, I think the days of Kevin Thompson and whatnot are long gone. The talk is, as Scott again saying, of Lee Wallace or Steve Davis. I wouldn't be against either one of those, if not both, if we could do that. I know there was some talk yesterday that they were talking about it on the members show yesterday. Somebody said that he's only a youth coach at Hearts. How does that get him a coach's job at Rangers? Well, Steven Gerrard was under 19s coach at Liverpool and got the main gig. So let's not take youth coaches as a way to reflect on it. If you want to stick to the German side of it, if he's not up to much and has coaching badges, George Alberts wouldn't be a bad shout. But if you're going to go with the Scottish side, I don't think you can go too far with Lee Wallace or if the Northern Ireland side, go for Stevie Davis, because Stephen Davis is already he's been around the club of recent years as well, which really does help. And Waldo obviously never could have took the money and run when all the stuff went to the fan. He gave up his international career to stay at Ibrox as well. So, I wouldn't be against him coming in. But again, no matter who he chooses, guarantee you there'll be somebody who says, no, I don't want them.
Of course, because that is football. That is football. I'm not going to play the full clip, right? But I have just came across this on Twitter. So I'm going to play it. It's a little bit of Kevin Thelwell speaking, and the reason that I can play it is because it's on Twitter. I can't play anything from YouTube because YouTube will kick my arse effectively for playing it. So let's hear a wee bit, shall we, from Kevin Thelwell on the appointment of Danny Rohl in an interview I think he's done with RTV.
Kevin, we're sitting down today after Danny has joined the club as the new head coach. What is it about him and his vision for the team that makes him the right person for the club?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I'd say we're absolutely delighted that Danny's decided to join us as head coach. He's a candidate that we've looked at and known for a very long time. He's obviously got some strong experience from his time with the German national team, through his time in the Premier League, also with his time at Bayern Munich, and then his time at Sheffield Wednesday as manager. From our perspective, we recognised that we were signing a very strong coach who's got very, very strong philosophy, very strong principles that we think were very well matched, not only to this Rangers team, but also to the football club. And we hope to see that in due course. I'm sure he's going to do very well.
Just talk us through the recent hiring process. I mean, it's well publicised in the media that talks are at an advanced stage with different candidates. Why did you think Danny was the right fit here?
Yeah, I think it's a good point. I think it's important to talk about the process. So we identified and talked to a number of candidates. And through this process, it's difficult for us to communicate out about exactly what we're doing and why we're doing it. And so clearly what happens during this time, it can become a little bit frustrating for fans because people start to fill that gap with names or with suggestions about who might be, who might not be. We talked to a number of candidates. Andrew alluded to this earlier today in the press conference. We ran a parallel process that covered 3 or 4 candidates, some that you've heard about, some that you haven't. And we're delighted with the outcome. And the outcome is that we think we've got a very strong head coach in Danny Rohl.
How do you think the appointment ties into the wider long-term plan for the football department here?
Well, the way in which we want to operate and the mandate from ownership is to have a sporting director and a head coach. Head coach is responsible for preparation of the team, performance of the team, and fundamentally the results. Sporting director is responsible to support him with all of the support services that sit around not only that team, but also the other teams that we have here, the women's team and also the academy, to make sure all of those support services are as strong as they possibly can be to give all our teams to win. And from our perspective, Danny's worked in the sporting director model before. He'd actually wanted to work in the sporting director model again. And we think that's going to be really helpful to allow us to collaborate in a really strong way and hopefully get the best for him and the men's first team going forwards.
So there's a wee bit more to that, but I won't play the full thing. I wanted to play that little bit, Iain, so that we could have a quick discussion about the hiring process and a quick discussion about the sporting director role with the head coach role. There was a lot of chat about that before Danny came in. And there was a lot of worry about folks saying, well, is Danny going to have any power? Is he going to be able to do what he wants? This does seem to be the model that the manager wants to work with, the head coach with the sporting director. Do you think it's calmed down a wee bit now, Iain, that worry about, well, is it going to be a yes man? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? Because I think, first of all, I don't think that is who Danny Rohl is. I don't think he would have took the job if he was told you can only do this, you can only do that. Thirlwell obviously said, I've never signed a player that the manager or head coach didn't want. Do we just have to get our head round this whole head coach role thing?
It's the modern the aim is the modern way that it's done. So there are lots of teams around the world work to this model now. So it's something that we are going to have to get used to. Over the road, I think they already work to this model. Not that their manager seems to be enjoying it too much, but it's just the way we do things. And Roll did this at other clubs, or management-wise at Sheffield Wednesday, and he was part of teams that did it in the continent as well. I know. Do you know Bayern Munich works like that because their sporting director does interviews because he'll be in the mix zones and stuff. So it's not anything new to him. Anything new to him. And he'll stand up for himself because the lad from the Sheffield Wednesday podcast yesterday saying that the owner at Sheffield Wednesday was doing this is what's going to happen. It was like, well, no, I'm not doing that. And if that's the case, I'm off. Bye. So he does have a backbone. He will stand up for himself. I think it's if we knew more about how it worked at Ibrox, then it might be a little bit more understanding for us. But I mean, from what I get with these types of roles, it's the manager has an idea of players he wants. He takes them to the sporting director. He'll go off, see what he can do, and the sporting director will come back and go, right, these are the ones that we can possibly go for. Which one do you want? Or do you want me to go after X, Y, and Z? So I think it's just something, it's completely different for Scotland. We don't do that. We've never really done that. It always was the manager was in control of everything. Walter Smith was probably the best at it. Even he signed some dud players over the years. Steven Gerrard kind of did that, but then he had Mark Allen as well he was working with. So, it's just something we've got to get our head around because it's the way it's going to be. We can say, right, we want the manager out, we want that. But if they get rid of Thirlwell and Stewart, for example, they're going to bring two people in to replace those two people. They're not going to go, right, well, we'll just do a different model now. They will just bring in new people to do that same role. So whether you like it or not, it's here. So let's just get behind this as well and hope it starts to bear fruit for us. Yeah,
and just finally, before we go, just a wee quick one, because I think this is probably going to be a conversation that we're going to have throughout the season, to be brutally honest with you. And firstly, can I just say a massive thank you to our podcast sponsors? I won't read them all out because it will take me forever. But a massive thank you to all the podcast sponsors that you can see just below us on the screen. And if you want to become a member of the Rabble Network and get access to loads and loads and loads of extra content, including 4 morning phone-in shows, 3 nightly live shows, watch-alongs to every game, EPL shows, random rabbles, Sunday supplements, which is the EPL show, actually, I should say, the boardroom, exclusive interviews, all sorts of stuff, then click the link in the description. You can either go YouTube where you get it all live in video, or you can go Patreon where all our live video is then uploaded into audio for people who prefer their stuff in the audio format. So yeah, do that. Help. We've got over 500 Iain members, which is absolutely
amazing support.
Which is incredible considering Rangers have been jank for years. But yeah, if you would like to do that, help support independent Rangers media. Help us move forward and be able to do things that other independent Rangers media are doing, because if we get bigger, we can't be ignored. Wink, wink, if you know what I mean. So help us out that way if you can. If not, just like it and share and subscribe. That would be just as equally fantastic. If you could give the show a like, make sure you're subscribed as well. As we went past 16,000 subscribers and now we're motoring towards 17. It's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Right, Iain, just before we go, Gassama, I have to say I'm more than excited. I can nail my colours to the mast on this one, Iain. I am more than excited to see what improvements Danny Rohl can make to him, considering he's probably been our best player so far this season.
Yeah, and he's come out as well and said that Danny Rohl is a very much a father figure for him, or as working with someone who feels like a father figure for him. And Danny Rohl obviously has got the best work out of Gassama when he was at Sheffield Wednesday. Bearing in mind he signed there.
He's not old enough to be his dad.
That is very true. I mean, we now have a manager and an assistant, a coach and an assistant coach who are younger than me. So it was bound to happen. But then Gerard's younger than me, so I shouldn't be too surprised. Yeah, so it comes to us all. But it should be a good thing. And if he can get the best out of Gassama and Gassama can do what he does in Europe, in the league, then the only way is up. And the kid has already kind of paid back his transfer fee anyway with his Champions League goals. But to make even more money, he needs to start doing it in the league as well. So hopefully we can see it.
Hopefully so. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. And can I just say a massive thank you, by the way, to Fraudable, who has upgraded his membership to the Rabble CEO. So Fraudable, thank you very, very much for.
Apparently Vix is also upgraded, but we ignored that.
Well, it's not came through, Vix. I'm very sorry.
But thank you anyway.
But thank you very much. I will check that out, Vix, as soon as the show is over. And if that gets you on the podcast sponsors wall, then you will be on that tomorrow. Because that's when we are back on public YouTube tomorrow. We are live tonight at 7 p.m. for more reaction to the press conferences specifically. We'll be looking more at the Andrew Kavanagh interviews and having a discussion about the owners and about how the club's going to look moving forward. And, of course, a wee preview to tomorrow night's Europa League game. And then we're back tomorrow morning for another morning rabble, another afternoon rabble. Full live build-up. Watch along and reaction. So we are busy tomorrow. Great. Well, I do not ignore the chat. I refute that allegation.
Well, I think he might, because he's put the same question in twice, and I've starred them both for you, and you still haven't answered it.
Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, I didn't look at the start. Sorry. Okay, great. Well, apologies. I didn't see it. It doesn't mean that I'm ignoring you. Right, okay. I'll ask the question. Iain, I told you, whenever Great Wall puts in a comment, ignore it. I told you that. So, yes, Great Wall of Canada. Do you think we'll sign Werner on a free in the summer, given Sasha Lenz is his father-in-law and Rohl worked with him at Leipzig? No, would be my answer to that. Iain, would Timo Werner do a job at Rangers, or has he fell too far off the edge of that cliff?
I mean, first of all, it is the Rangers thing to employ family, obviously. So we'll have to have a chat with there. Well, you've got your son in there. Can we have our son-in-law in and see how that goes? But while he was in Germany, yes, Timo Werner was hot property. At Leipzig, he was hot property. Went to the EPL. Not saying that the EPL is an easy league to play in, but he literally fell apart in the EPL and was kind of a joke figure of a striker. I don't see it personally happening. I think Timo Werner still thinks he has enough about him to make a German squad. Wages is wages. But he has probably made enough money to think, you know what, I could do it if I needed to. But I think if he's got any ideas of trying to make a German squad for the World Cup, he's not coming to us. So,
yeah, I would say so. Yeah, and no doubt, knowing our luck, he would just turn into another Matondo. To be perfectly honest. Right, folks, that will do us for today. Like I say, please make sure that you leave a like and you are subscribed and you shared the show. And if you want to help a little bit more, then you can become a member. Links are in the description. So, Iain, thank you very much. Thank you for all the comments, for all the upgraded memberships, for the super chats, for everything. Thank you very, very much. And yeah, we will see all our beautiful members tonight at 7 p.m. And for everybody else, we'll see you right here tomorrow at 12:30. So bye for now. Iain, don't ever let the Great Wall of Canada put a comment in again and then make me look stupid in front of people. Oh, we're not.